So, Yanni, how's your tournament going?
Oh, amazing. You know how it is. I've just been having so much fun with it.
So speaking of tournaments, you're pretty lucky that you didn't get banned from the tournament completely for talking about it or showing any kind of grievances with it.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Titanium Tigers. And honestly,
that's right.
When I woke up to the news, I genuinely thought it was me.
Okay, so we gotta rewind and tell everybody what's happening with the Mortal Kombat tournaments that are going on, the Mortal Kombat 11 Pro competition. So for those who don't know, of course, there's the Mortal Kombat Pro competition going on right now, where Mortal Kombat 11 players across the world are competing against each other in this online tournament to see who wins, and they're broadcasting the North American tournaments and the South American tournaments. And I don't think they're broadcasting the other ones.
No, there's actually been a bit of drama in the Middle Eastern community on Twitter because they are the only one not being streamed. And when they asked about it, they were literally just told, you guys can stream it yourselves.
What? Are you serious?
I swear. I will get you the screenshot of this tweet. It is amazing. The community was like, are you serious?
So what? They want you to like Twitch stream it instead of any kind of official Mortal Kombat channels?
Basically, yeah.
The Middle East is an official Mortal Kombat Pro competition tournament.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that blows my mind that they've just written that one off completely, I guess.
Yeah, I genuinely don't understand like how like somebody in support can just think, you know what, this tweet's gonna go down well.
Oh yeah.
And that relates heavily to what we're about to talk about with Titanium Tigers.
But yeah, so Titanium Tigers, he is in the middle of the competition and he starts going through and showcasing some of his variations, and he has a Shiva variation called Why Did NRS Do This?
Honestly, I'm so glad one pro player or veteran at least, brought this up. Like it's about time. The community has been complaining about crap like this for so long, and Shiva is near the top of the crap list in my opinion. Everybody complains about her stomp.
Yeah, because it's unblockable. So
it's unblockable. They're like, oh, just move out the way. I'm like, yeah, man, sure, I'll just move out the way. Except she can delay it, and on top of that, you have to deal with latency. It's stupid.
I think everybody has some sort of why did NRS do this variation in their roster. So the fact that a pro player has one, I'm sure they all do, because we all have a character that we're like, oh my god, this needs to be buffed out, this character needs to be fixed. And Titanium Tigers is no difference. Like everybody has their character that just pisses them off because the game's not fleshed out in the way that people want it to be. Yeah. So he showcases his character, and in the middle of the stream they switch to the commentators and just basically cut Titanium Tiger's feed. The commentators have no idea what's going on. Nobody realizes what's happening. And eventually we find out that Titanium Tigers has been disqualified from the tournament for having a why did NRS do this variation.
It's so good. And the best thing is they're like, guys, you need to follow the rules. Like, okay, I feel bad for the commentators. They literally just got thrown into this, like, how are they supposed to deal with this? But you guys, you got to follow the rules and be respectful. Are you serious? Like, why did NRS do this is actually firstly a meme. Like, I can't believe you've done this. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. Like, it happens in every game, firstly. And secondly, instead of, disqualifying a guy, how about you actually freaking address the community and their concerns and change this instead of letting it when was the last patch? Honestly, when was the last patch? What am I saying? Ultimate?
Yeah, it was around Ultimate. I don't think there's been one since then.
And before that, what was it? Like Aftermath? Yeah. That's ridiculous. This is pathetic. And like it relates right back to what we say about communication from NRS, except in this case, they're literally just not patching the game. There are so many issues which have been in the game since day one. Shao Kahn is still trash. And Shiva, this has been a problem since the beginning, since she dropped.
Even speaking about communication, they didn't tell him what had happened. He was left in the dark. Yeah, like they were basically like, well, there's a new winner and it's not you. It was your opponent. And he has no idea what's going on. He doesn't realize that it was because of his variation name or anything until later. I mean, communication, NRS.
Yeah, no. I mean, firstly, you're supposed to give a warning. I've dealt with worse in the same competition, and I've been told by admins, oh, well, they've got 10 minutes to respond to this. But this guy was literally just like, this is straight up a power trip from NRS. This is a complete
or WB or whoever did it.
I highly doubt it's WB. I really do. It specifically says, why did NRS do this? right? I genuinely do not think WB cared at all about this.
Sorry, that name is, I love
it's
it.
So funny. But I'm glad that the community seems to be standing up for this. This is disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Like right now, the why did NRS do this hashtag was kind of spreading throughout Mortal Kombat. So I encourage everybody to go ahead and use this hashtag.
We've got the title of this video, guys.
What really bothers me is that, there's nothing in the official rules that talk about don't criticize the creators. We're paying money into this game. Like we can have some criticisms. I don't see a big problem with that. But they do have a code of conduct section, which basically lets the organizers do whatever they want. And in this case, the organizers of this particular tournament decided that was a no-go. So
I mean, the rules section, like code of conduct, it says that you should not be disrespectful to your opponent or insult them, etc., etc. This is a variation name. Come on, it's a joke. And even then, even if it was a dig, how about you just actually address it properly instead of disqualifying the guy without telling him? My favorite part, other than him being disqualified in this, I don't know if you watched the actual footage of it happening, but the Twitch stream itself, the chat was hilarious. People were like, this is the most boring fight I've ever seen. Like, they were laughing. It was because it's Shiva versus Kano. Now, the fact that his opponent was using Kano is actually a godsend for him, because he can just Kano ball out the way, right? Yeah. Most other characters don't have some form of movement along those lines. So what you saw for most of the fight was literally, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe, of Shiva stomping, Kano balling to the other side, and then Shiva throwing dragon fire at him, and then repeat.
Oh, wow. I'm in the whole, if you can't beat a variation, then you need to play better camp, just because that's what a lot of old school players, how we view the game. And back in Mortal Kombat 2 days, you had these cheat moves that you couldn't really do much against, and you would just kind of figure out a character that you could work with. And I mean, that works. You get Kano, you cannonball out of there, and I mean, it's boring, but it works for issues like that. Like if somebody's going to pick a character that has an unblockable move, okay, then find a character that you can dodge it with quickly and keep fighting. But to ban somebody for criticizing that move is in the game.
See, I'm sort of with you in the sort of if you can't beat it, learn how to beat it camp. But at the same time, there is stuff which is considered very stupid, right? This is like whether it's OP or just the fact that you need to change character. Like, in my opinion, you should never need to actually change an entire character to deal with another character. That's, to me, unbalanced. And the whole point is that we're trying to reach a sort of balance in the game. You're never going to achieve optimal balance. That's never going to happen. We got to be fair. But Shiva just pressing, what is it, down, up? Over and over. And then, I'm going to hold it for a bit longer and delay so that when my opponent's movement stops, I'm going to land on them anyway. Because you know what? This move is even stupider than you would think it is.
It's like playing against my little brother,
It reminds me of like Noob Saibot MK9, and where you just literally throw clones the entire time.
Yeah,
and it was hilarious. It was hilarious, honestly. But this is, come on, man. You're pushing a competitive game. Fix this crap. It's not like you don't know. The community's been telling you. And one thing that I find interesting is that Tyler is a big Shiva fan and a big Stomp fan, and it's pretty damn OP. I don't know. It's a coincidence maybe, but I've noticed that happening a lot. Like certain characters, which certain people at NRS or certain players play, Joker, Sonic Fox, seem to be quite strong in comparison to others.
Well, do you know what you can do instead of listening to criticism?
Get better.
Silence them.
Yes. That's the way to do it, right? And do it in an obvious way where everyone sees it.
Yeah, on live stream. Just feed.
Oh my God.
He said something that we don't like. Cut it all.
Was he about to win? I think he was about to win.
Was he really? I don't know. I didn't see it.
The first set. He was about to win, I think. Either that or he was about to win the second round. One of the two. But to get disqualified during that is just like, are you serious?
Well, I mean, so he did take it with stride. He did an interview with Kotaku, and he said, it's a pro competition and I'm a competitive player and I might hate how they do things, but at the end of the day, it's their game and I don't have any other options. So, I mean, it sucks. And I think he realizes it sucks, but, at least he's not complaining about it too much. And he's kind of, he doesn't have a choice. So he's just going with it.
Yeah, respect to him for that. That's a great response. Yeah. But like to not have been warned at all. And then on top of that, for NRS to literally just straight up disqualify one of their veteran players.
I wonder if they're going to start putting black bars over everybody's variations now. Just to make
It's going to be default. That's it. It's just going to say default every time.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Come on. I want to see the competitive community stand up with him. I really do. Like, I want to see the pro players, the veterans, the well-known players stand up for him because this is really bad. Anyway, we're going to be touching on the tournament itself in the upcoming Tarkatan Bite-Size video, even just regarding my experience, which I would say compares to this.
We haven't finished that Tarkatan Bite-Size episode yet, but that is in the works. And I'm sure Yani has a lot to say. And it's been a few weeks since we had a Toasty Tuesday, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks since we had really anything other than our last episode with Brusque Poet. If you haven't checked that out, it's our latest Realm Kast episode. And since then, though, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yep, Happy New Year. And, I guess maybe this will come out on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day.
So we've been as silent as NRS have been with MK11.
We've been as silent as Wonder Brothers had been for the past how many years?
Oh, man. Yeah, well, that's not the case anymore. We've had a lot happening with the movie.
Yes, the silence is broken. So let's talk about it. Let's just jump into this. The official photos were released on Entertainment Magazine's website, and we've got our first look at the Mortal Kombat movie. We've had a few different people asking us what are our thoughts on this. So, Yani, what do you think?
The photos looked amazing. I feel like this looks Mortal Kombat, if you get me.
Yes. Yeah, it does. That's what kind of like excites me the most about this, is seeing those photos, because everything in it looks very Mortal Kombat. Like, it looks like a high production Mortal Kombat, like not like a fan edit, in my opinion.
Well, there have been a few edits, specifically with regards to Jax.
Oh, you mean the mustache?
Yeah. So, is the guy Steve Harvey? Is that his name?
Yeah, Steve Harvey.
You honestly, I see it. I really do. I had a ball with this on the meme realm.
I thought I was going to hate the mustache, but then when I actually saw it, if you meet enough people who are in the service, mustaches are things that they can have sometimes. And so I can completely see this as somebody who is a former military person or is currently in the military, and he has very strict guidelines and he wants to grow a beard, but instead he just grows out his mustache and then gets stuck in Mortal Kombat. So
we have to remember that Jax did initially start off with a mustache in the games.
Oh, that's right, in Mortal Kombat 2, right? Yeah. Wow, that's a good catch there. I didn't even think about that.
I'm happy to see it. I just honestly, the Steve Harvey pictures are so good. It was John Parrish, wasn't it?
The original Jax?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was John Parrish.
Yeah. Firstly, that's still the Jax that I see, to be honest. That's my favorite Jax, really. But it's good to see that they took inspiration from John Parrish's interpretation, portrayal, really, of Jax.
Talking about Jax, I was really worried about seeing some of the set photos of Jax behind the scenes. He lost a lot of weight. He had a lot of lean muscle mass. And to me, I think of Jax as John Parrish, who is this giant bodybuilder, with this huge physique. And kind of seeing now a more toned version of Jax, I was a little worried until I saw that picture of him fighting. And it looks cool. I don't know, it all kind of ties together, I think, with the cybernetic arms and everything.
Yeah, I think the arms actually look seriously sick. That's a really cool take on them. They look kind of steampunkish.
Yeah. There's a lot of intricacies going on, almost like a better version of Transformers or something.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that I've always loved about Mortal Kombat designs, the intricacy. And this is something that really fits in line with it, which goes with what we're saying. Everything seems very Mortal Kombat. Although I have to say I'm not too happy with the lack of the faceplate for Kano.
Oh, so I've been thinking a lot about that. And, if we, without going into spoilers or if you want to be spoiled, you can dive into our episode with Mr. Midnight Owl, where we went into some of the leaked scripts that have previously been released. But I've been thinking a lot about why Kano wouldn't have anything on his face in this movie. You see in the movie, he does have some scarring around his eye, and he does have like a glowing red eye. I'm kind of under the impression that might be something that gets more fleshed out and could be used in a later. it could be used in a latter movie rather than this one, in my opinion. Or maybe this is the design they're going to go with for all of Kano's involvement in the movies series.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were going down a different path with what you were saying. That's why I said less fleshed out. So I have a feeling that over the course of the movie, it's literally going to become less fleshed out, and maybe he gets hit in the face or something, and then the faceplate starts to show more.
Oh, that's a good idea too. I don't know. I think maybe something more happens to his eye or something that causes them to replace it completely. But, I could be wrong. Maybe this is it. This is the design. They're just taking it as he's got really bad scarring and like a fake eye or something like that, rather than doing the whole faceplate thing.
Yeah. He does look cool. It's just for me to see like that the faceplate is so important with Kano, in my opinion. And it's a shame. Like, he looks great as Kano. The faceplate just would have made it. So, maybe they have been saying it's going to be extremely gory and stuff. Maybe what I've said is going to come true. We don't know really. But he does look good otherwise. Sonya looks, like Sonya.
Yeah, she does. She really does. I wasn't too sure about the actress playing her, but yeah, in the shots that have been released, she looks like Sonya to me. Like,
you weren't too sure of her? I thought we were both in agreement that she looked cool.
I think she has a good look to her, but I wasn't sure of her as Sonya. And seeing her in the cargo shorts and the tank top and just kind of kicking ass, I'm like, all right, this looks like Sonya to me.
Yeah, fair. I'm looking at the picture now, like moving from the picture of just Kano to the picture of Kano with Sonya sort of choking him, holding him down. If you look at the picture of him on the ground, the scars on his eye or around his eye seem to be, bleeding.
Fresher. Yeah.
More fresh, yeah.
And this is just speculation, but yeah, it could be that this is something that kind of occurs in the movie. And then by the end of the movie, they might have his whole eye replaced, his whole faceplate added.
Yeah, let's see how that goes. Either way, he does look cool. Sonya looks great. I am really happy with Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
In my opinion, that is the perfect Mortal Kombat picture. Like, if the movie encompasses that spirit to it, like if they're going into that type of designs and stuff, let's do this. This is Mortal Kombat now.
Yeah.
Super excited. And, they're making poses similar to what we've seen in Mortal Kombat 11. And speaking of which, of course, Sub-Zero is making his ice blade
from Mortal Kombat X. Yeah.
Yeah.
that is a great shot.
It is. And people have asked Greg Russo about it too, and said, hey, is this, a take on that Mortal Kombat X scene? And he's like, yeah, I'm surprised people caught that so quickly.
This is the Mortal Kombat fandom. You should not be surprised, Greg Russo. Oh. We pick up on everything. We've been deciphering Ed Boon's clues, or pretending to, for years, okay?
And this kind of goes back to some of the hope I've had in this movie is with Greg Russo's involvement. He seems to be legitimately invested in Mortal Kombat lore and invested in Mortal Kombat designs and stuff like that. So seeing them sneak in stuff like that into just this little preview we've seen of the movie, like, it gives you reassurance that this could be in really good hands.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Or it could be a bomb. We do see Louis Tan playing Cole Turner.
Yeah, so that's the problem, right? Pictures wise, it looks amazing. It really does. But when it comes down to certain choices in, say, direction and, even character, it is quite concerning.
That's the biggest problem everybody's had with this movie, is the involvement of Louis Tan. And
No. Let's make this clear. Not of Louis Tan, of Cole Turner / Cole Young. Everybody's been, including us. I'm a huge fan of Louis Tan, as we've said before. He's great. I'm very happy that he's in the movie. I just wish it wasn't in the role of such a character.
And, a lot of the Johnny Cage fans have been really upset because they said, hey, you want somebody to follow throughout this tournament who doesn't have any idea what's going on? Make it Johnny Cage. And instead we're getting a new original character, which people are kind of upset about.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. And I mean, he is a MMA fighter down on his luck. So that confirms what we've said previously on our script leak episodes. So, I mean, it looks like we're batting 1-0 now.
No, we're batting a lot more than that, to be honest. Mr. Midnight Owl and us are pretty much all in with everything we've said, to be honest. Everything we've discussed. Yeah. The only thing that has changed is Cole Turner's last name.
Yeah, that's right.
And I do have a theory on that.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's not airtight, but everybody's talking about Johnny Cage, and everybody's saying that this is Johnny Cage's role, basically, that Cole is playing. And Greg Russo has specifically said on Twitter that he has a surprise for all Johnny Cage fans or something, if I remember correctly. Either that or I've heard it on Reddit somewhere. But if you look at the letters in Cole Young.
Oh, don't you do this.
I don't know, like you have Y, N, G. Okay, no, I don't know why I'm saying G. Sorry, this is Johnny Cage. J. But Y, and you know what I mean? Like certain letters kind of really make me think to Johnny Cage's name. I'm just showing everybody that's listening that I don't know my alphabet, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like it's not well complete, but that's just the sort of idea I'm getting.
I thought you were going to go down the fan theory of Cole Young is a MMA cage fighter, and at the end of the movie, he's going to become Cole Cage or Johnny Cage or something like that.
You know what? That's not bad. The cage fighter.
No,
I see it.
No.
Like it's a good theory, not a good decision, but a good theory.
So, and then the last image we've seen is, of course, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It looks like Scorpion's about to get his with his own spear. Yeah.
I mean, firstly, Joe Taslim looks so focused, aggressive in that picture. He looks badass, honestly. And then Hiroyuki Sanada is, I mean, well, you know, we can tell it's Scorpion. It's meant to be Scorpion. It's meant to be Hanzo, really. But yeah, even like just this picture really seems to capture the relationship between Bihan and Hanzo. I think it's great.
Oh, it's cool. It's really cool. And from what we've heard, this is supposed to be the opening scene of the movie. So
yes, I saw a tweet on that saying that apparently the opening scene of the movie is like a 10-minute fight scene between the two.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty cool to me, you know?
I can't wait.
But one thing I would like to focus on is if we go back to the Sub-Zero picture. Yeah, we're focusing on the dagger and the fact that it's sort of a callback to MKX with one of his little cinematics. But look at the intricacy again on his outfit. Yeah, we can only see a bit of his hood or his cowl, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, but the hood and the mask. But what we can see of it is really intricate and really cool. Like, I think this is a beautiful take, and I can't even see the entire outfit yet. I love that they've decided to hide the mask from us, but give us a little tease of.
Yeah, and the mask itself, you know, like what you can see through the blade. I mean, it has like all of this almost stone work looking aesthetic to it. So, and then of course, you know, his hands look like they're almost frostbitten. Like they've done some cool stuff design wise.
Even his eyes.
Yeah, I'm excited just from these shots that I've seen. I don't know how the movie's going to end up, but I mean, visually, it looks pretty badass.
Definitely. But now, aside from the pictures, we're going to have to talk about the synopsis. All right. Am I reading or are you reading?
I'll read it.
You have to do it.
All right. In Mortal Kombat, MMA fighter Cole Young, accustomed to taking a beating for money, is unaware of his heritage, or why Outworld's Emperor Shang Tsung has sent his best warrior, Sub-Zero, an otherworldly cryomancer, to hunt Cole down. Fearing for his family's safety, Cole goes in search of Sonya Blade at the direction of Jax, a special forces major who bears the same strange dragon marking Cole was born with. Soon he finds himself at the temple of Lord Raiden, an elder god and the protector of Earthrealm, who grants sanctuary to those who bear the mark. Here, Cole trains with experienced warriors Liu Kang Kung Lao and rogue mercenary Kano, as he prepares to stand with Earth's greatest champions against the enemy of Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe. But will Cole be pushed hard enough to unlock his arcana, the immense power from within his soul, in time to save not only his family, but to stop Outworld once and for all?
Oh my God.
Where do you want to start?
Okay, that we're gonna do this, but we're gonna be fair as we go through it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with MMA fighter Cole Young, just to say this. Why? Why?
I was talking to Mr. Midnight Owl about this, and you know that meme of Zoolander where they're saying, "Oh, that is so hot right now." I said him that. I said, "Oh, MMA is so hot right now."
It's always either the washed up boxer or MMA fighter or whatever. They just have to. It's the typical Hollywood trope, and it's such bullshit. If anyone in Hollywood is listening, stop it. Stop.
I mean,
nobody likes it.
I think
it's
a washed up actor would have been, just throwing that out there.
That would have actually fit. It would have been accurate and fit.
Yeah.
But, come on, MMA fighter. This is so. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Jackie.
Oh yeah. I mean, MMA is hot. I mean, they're pushing that a lot on the games. Yeah. So I'm not surprised at all by this idea
not at all.
Yeah. But I mean, originally they wanted to make him a boxer, and switching it to an MMA, I think that's going to appeal to a wider audience.
Oh yeah, because that's all that matters, right? Mortal Kombat fans?
Okay, so the next sentence
is unaware of his heritage.
Why
is it always heritage bullshit?
Because heritage matters.
Oh, come on, man.
Have you taken... This episode of Realm Kast is brought to you by MyHeritage DNA testing. Find out if your arcana exists or not with the DNA testing. Comes back in days.
Are you 1/8 Adanian? At some point over the years of the Realm Kast, I'm saying years, guys. Yes, I'm looking that far. Somebody needs to make a compilation of all of the apparent sponsors that Fantim likes to throw in. But yeah, heritage. Why? It's so overdone. It's such a cop out.
I don't know. See, I'm actually more worried about what that means for the story.
Yes.
And I don't want to jump into spoilers or anything, or jump into speculative spoilers right now. But I mean, if his heritage is that important, I mean, what does that mean for... I'll just say, what does that mean for characters that we want to see in this movie?
Yes.
So...
Exactly.
Oh, so, okay. Outworld's Emperor Shang Tsung.
Yes.
Okay, that statement. Is this just a bad press release?
Yes, it is. Greg Russo has confirmed it.
Thank God. Because Shang Tsung is not the Emperor.
Yeah. That was very concerning to a lot of people, as was the next line. Has sent his best warrior Sub-Zero. And actually, no, was it? No, sorry, this one was not... what people were worried about. There was a little something where, for some reason, Sub-Zero was mentioned to not have his powers in the scene with
Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Yeah. Greg Russo has since cleared that up to say that he was born with the powers. They just weren't fully developed yet. So yeah, that's my confusion based on that. So apparently Sub-Zero is Shang Tsung's best warrior. I'm going to assume it's something along the lines of mythologies.
Haven't they also said that scene takes place hundreds of years ago or something like that?
Yeah, I did hear about that, and that is another worry.
Yeah, I don't know what that means exactly. I mean, is Sub-Zero just eternal? Or is Sub-Zero dead and brought back to life? Or, I mean, same thing with Scorpion. Is he going to be in the movie also? Or is it just Scorpion's killed at the beginning and that's the end?
Can you imagine? Honestly, firstly, that would be so freaking stupid, honestly, right? But secondly, that would be the ultimate troll by Ed Boon. He finally gets a chance to put Scorpion back on the big screen, and he's like, "Hey, you guys tell me I put him in too much? How's this?"
Ed Boon's voice can't do that Scorpion dub anymore, so he's like, "No, we're done.
Get out of there." He refers to him.
But no, this is something I'm seriously concerned about. That Are we actually going to see a fully developed Scorpion in this movie fighting at all, or is it just we see the beginning scenes and that's the end?
Yeah, I'm really concerned about that too. Like, I'm just worried about, say, Cole Young being possibly related to him or to Johnny, or I don't even know what anymore. But if it is to Hanzo, oh god.
So, I mean, I think the best way to take this movie is just go into it with an open mind and don't get hung up on the lore, because this isn't going to be a lore-based movie. This isn't the Mortal Kombat that we know from the video games. This is them trying to make their own unique franchise.
Because Hollywood is incapable of actually getting anything right in terms of accuracy.
Yeah.
So Cole Young is the new Alice. It's really a shame that it's
I don't know. Talking to Mr. Midnight Owl, as we've done previously, I don't feel like it's the new Alice. I do feel like it's just an introduction character, because Alice was overpowered throughout the entire Resident Evil series.
Well, we'll get into this at the end of the paragraph.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Let's keep going then.
But yeah, no, I do see your concern about Sub-Zero's age, actually, because that does actually throw his lore aside as well, because he's supposed to be Chinese American or whatever. His dad, kidnapped by the Lin Kuei or whatever.
And what about his brother?
Yeah,
I mean,
is he also thousands of years old? Is he still a little brother if that's the case? Was he born a few thousand years after Bi-Han?
Because, I mean, having him be a little brother is important to the storyline when Noob Saibot comes into play. You know, that's an important aspect of that part of the lore. That's why Mortal Kombat lore is so interesting, because of all these little interconnected tissue that just kind of developed organically.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Anyway, let's move on. At the direction of Jax, a Special Forces major who bears the same strange dragon marking Cole was born with.
Yeah. Okay. So the dragon markings.
Okay, I'm not saying that this was the reason Annihilation sucked. It didn't. It did. Sorry. But this is not the reason. But a lot of people had issues with the dragon markings. It was stupid.
Well, so, did they have dragon markings in Annihilation? I don't even.
Yeah, so basically all of Shao Kahn's warriors had dragon markings, which when you killed them, a dragon flew off.
They flew away. Yeah.
Yes. So when Shao Kahn is defeated, apparently his mark is an entire dragon which comes out of his whole body, right? So that was some stupid shit in the first place. But why would you take something from the movie that is considered a huge negative on the series' lifespan and bring it back here?
Yeah.
Dragon marking? Are you serious? This annoys me more than it should.
No, this should annoy you as much as it does, because that was a really dumb part of the movie. And, it comes back into play with this whole heritage thing, too. Mortal Kombat was cool because anybody could join Mortal Kombat and die if you were a good warrior. Yes. But now it doesn't matter. You have to have a dragon marking, and you have to be born
with it somewhere on you, right? Like, where's Jax's on his ass? Like, I'm curious. Does Sub-Zero have one too?
Jax's is on his left arm. Unfortunately, got ripped off, so he's been disqualified now.
I'm just imagining the opening scene of, say, Cole Young training or fighting against somebody, and it zooms in on his mark, which is on the inside of his arm or some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just always like that. That's why honestly, do it. If you're going to put marking on everybody, put it on somebody's ass. On Kano's. I want to see it. It's going to be hilarious. Just do it at this point. It's the only way to save this.
Kano is supposed to be the comedic relief of this movie. So that might be what actually happens.
I will straight up call you in the middle of the movie if that is what happens.
Hey, I'm going to be seeing it in the IMAX. I'm going to rent that whole theater out.
Okay, Raiden, an Elder God. That is confirmed by Greg Russo to be a mistake again. He's not supposed to be an Elder God. Somebody said to him, I know that Raiden was an Elder God a couple times in the timeline, but is he now? And he's like, no, that's a mistake.
I think he also said they should actually run these press releases by him for typos before they release them.
Yeah, that was great, actually. But, guys, we're criticizing the movies, certain decisions with the movie, but that doesn't mean we hate everybody involved with the movie. We're very happy with what Greg Russo has been trying to do with this movie, from what we can see. to be clear.
It doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to hate the movie either. Just some of these choices.
Yes, exactly. As fans, I think we have all earned the right to be able to give our opinion on this thing. So he grants sanctuary to those who bear the mark. Here, Cole trains with experienced warriors Liu Kang and Kung Lao and rogue mercenary Kano. What?
Okay. Well, now, what's your problem with rogue mercenary Kano?
Why is he training with Kano? Why is Kano helping them?
Okay, so Mortal Kombat 1, Kano was fighting for the Earthrealm. Like every character you chose in Mortal Kombat 1, the first video game, was an Earthrealm character. I mean, even Raiden is kind of an exception, but even Kano, he was the anti-villain or the anti-hero. He was still, if Kano won the tournament, then Earthrealm won the tournament.
I have had this. This part has been very confused. This part has gotten more convoluted, over time. Because we had, I can see your logic here. But then we look at, say, Boraicho, right? And he adds to that. But then we see that certain people winning for Shao Kahn would be an Outworld win, an Outworld victory. Yeah, I don't know if at this point in time that rule was in place. I don't know if Kano winning Mortal Kombat in Mortal Kombat 1 would have been a win for Earthrealm. I don't think he represented Earthrealm, actually.
I think he did. I mean, it's up to the highest bidder. Okay, so in the movies, he was brought in by Shang Tsung.
Yes.
In the video games themselves, at least as far as Mortal Kombat 1 went, he was still an Earthrealm fighter. And that's why Shao Kahn captured him and Sonya and held them hostage, because they were Earthrealm warriors in Mortal Kombat 2.
Huh. Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of my take on the whole lore of that. And I mean, like you said, this all become kind of convoluted as they've introduced characters that were born in one place and fight for other places and stuff like that. But I think they're kind of taking that route with it, that Kano is an Earthrealm warrior still. I mean, even if he's a scumbag.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, the fact that he was taken sort of hostage by, or not hostage, but just imprisoned by Shang Tsung does definitely lend credence to what you're saying. So yeah, that's a good point. I guess it's never really confirmed, but that is a good take on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm fine with them doing that with this, making him, a protagonist, I guess, in this movie, and then they can gradually kind of make him an antagonist or make him Sonya's antagonist. That'd be cool. I'm okay with that.
I mean, based on the pictures, it looks like that's what's sort of happening.
Yeah.
What have we got next? Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The Arcana.
Mm-hmm. Seriously? You couldn't have used key or something? Had to be Arcana?
What is the word Arcana? Where does that come from?
I mean, it literally means arcane, right? So what's the definition for Arcana? Let's have a look. Arcana, define. Secrets or mysteries.
Oh, well, that's original.
Yeah. But generally, I would always have taken Arcana to be something sort of magical, really, right?
Yeah.
Like the arcane arts, the arcane magic. Why is this being added? This is so unnecessary. Why not to just unlock his abilities? You know what this reminds me of? Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Liu Kang unlocking his animality.
Yeah. I mean, why does everybody have to have a power? I mean, Liu Kang at the beginning was just a monk, and then they kind of wrote powers in with him later or whatever. And Johnny Cage was just kind of this ordinary guy that had a little bit of special moves and stuff like that, but
not punched you.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that these are special supernatural characters. They're just fighters that kind of transcended their abilities or whatever.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that they're adding powers to Cole. It makes him a lot more interesting, in my opinion. It makes him more Mortal Kombat. The problem is this choice of Arcana.
Have powers. Cole doesn't have powers until he can unlock them. So yeah, you're gonna watch this.
Yeah, but he's gonna get his powers at the end, and you're just gonna be laughing at me when you watch the movie, like, he thought he was gonna have powers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
I genuinely get the animality vibes. Like, I can literally hear Nightwolf saying it to Cole right now. Like, it's so cringy. It's so unnecessary. Why not just say unlock his abilities? Why is this sort of stuff even necessary? The immense power from within his soul. Get out of here, man. This is so stupid.
Cole Turner's going to go on a spirit walk in order to unlock his Arcana. In the desert, he'll run into a shaman who turns into a wolf.
And then Jade's going to turn up.
Oh, God.
But like, honestly, this is so unnecessary, man.
Yeah, it really is. But, again, this is not the Mortal Kombat. This is a Mortal Kombat, and that's the only way we can go into this movie at this point.
But it's finally Mortal Kombat getting back on the big screen. We've been waiting years for something along these lines. I still wish it was a TV series instead. But at least with the movie, it's just like a one-stop sort of disappointment, I guess, in certain aspects. But I don't know. This is just so cringy. Honestly, that's the word for it. The Arcana bullshit, like, couldn't have gone with Ki, honestly. Like, that would have related to, say, Kenshi or something. You know what I mean? I know that they never specifically say Ki or anything, but it would have made more sense with the origins of, like, a lot of the influences of Mortal Kombat, Mm-hmm. But now, to go back to what I said we were going to talk about at the end, you were saying about how Cole doesn't seem to be this overpowered character, blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. In time to save not only his family, but to stop Outworld once and for all.
Oh, so you think Cole is the savior of this movie?
I really hope he's not, but it looks like they're giving him Liu Kang's role.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's really terrifying. So, like, as we've kind of discussed with Mr. Midnight Owl on our previous episode, the whole idea of Cole Turner being a point of view into the Mortal Kombat world was cool. But if they are going to try to make him the key character of the tournament or of however they're portraying Mortal Kombat, then that's not going to be as fun, I think. And that's going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth as far as the fans go.
Yeah, I just don't see them putting in a protagonist and then not having him be the defining fight of the movie.
I hope they don't. I hope it's just as we've kind of discussed, where he's this character that we're following. He's not the character that decides everything. Because jumping into kind of possible spoiler territory, as we've discussed with Mr. Midnight Owl, Kung Lao and Liu Kang are kind of like the OG badasses of this whole Mortal Kombat thing. And so when he runs into them, they're at this higher up position, and they are kind of like the main characters that we are observing from an outside point of view, and the outside point of view is Cole's point of view. I like that idea. I'm okay with that idea. But if you're going to have those type of characters and then say, oh, Cole Turner is the one who decides if they can stop Outworld, then that's just dumb. And you do have your Alice character, like you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's the vibe I'm getting with this whole Arcana bullshit and saving Outworld once and for all. Like, why? Honestly, I still don't get the whole, it's the audience's view into the world so that we can learn with the character. Why is this necessary? Like, that's an insult to people's intelligence. It actually is. Like, without this character, the audience wouldn't have understood Mortal Kombat. What? Why? It's so simple. People fight. They have abilities. Done.
It's literally Enter the Dragon with superpowers.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. See how easy that was? But then they won't understand the world. What about all the realms and stuff? If you are good at writing, then we will understand. Yeah. We don't need to learn through a character. And if we were going to learn through a character, Johnny Cage is there. Sonya's there even. Jax is there.
It kind of goes back into the whole debate too. Video games are the modern media entertainment. Like, they are kind of replaced movies in some aspects like that. And they managed to write the story and portray that story in a 1990s video game, but you can't do it on the big screen. I mean, you got to talk to your writing staff. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. People give video games so much crap for not being a proper medium of storytelling, apparently, right? Mm-hmm. But then movies come out and say, we couldn't fit all this in, and so no.
We couldn't.
That means you didn't write it properly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I know I'm getting unreasonably riled up, but that's because of these like bullshit excuses. I'm sick of them. It's so unnecessary. If you have somebody, now I'm not going to give crap to Greg Russo because I genuinely believe he's done what he could with the scripts he was given. But if you're going to have somebody come in and write this, then we just want an accurate adaptation. It's not that hard. I honestly, myself, I would not care if the movie was literally just an adaptation of Mortal Kombat 1. I honestly wouldn't care. That would be perfect. Why? Because the whole point is I get to see the game on the big screen. That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not that complicated. I knew the lore when I was a freaking kid.
So besides all the pictures and the synopsis and everything, HBO Max also released a trailer kind of showcasing their collaboration with movie theaters for the same day releases. And in that, we got to see some of those movie stills that we had already seen kind of come to life. But we got a couple other shots throughout there. Have you seen that HBO Max preview?
I have, yeah. I think you're talking about the sword.
Yeah, the sword scene. I mean, that's awesome because you're actually seeing Sub-Zero form the sword.
Oh, no, I was talking about the other one.
Oh, which one?
The one that could potentially be Hanzo's sword.
Oh.
So it's basically him swinging his sword to the side or like, so as if he's unsheathing it or something. But it might not be Scorpion, although looking at the gauntlet, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, as well as the fact that it is a katana.
Is he unsheathing it, or is he
either
just
that, or
it?
he's just like flicking it? One of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't see enough. I literally see it for about half a second. I don't know how I managed to pause it on the image, but the funny part is there's a subtitle which says groans on mine.
Oh, really?
I was expecting something like shing, but. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, it could be Godzilla's carrying over.
So something else one of our friends, the Katana fan page, pointed out and sent to us was another scene that a lot of people didn't notice throughout that trailer. So as they're flashing through and giving the various text on that trailer, there's one cutscene where it says new movies. And in that cutscene, we get to see our Mortal Kombat team just kind of overlooking a snowy peak in the middle of the desert. And I don't know where this is in the movie, but I mean, it kind of fits along with the synopsis that we've already talked about, where Cole Young teams up with Sonya Blade in order to find Raiden's temple or something. So maybe this is where they find it, or, you know, they're on this quest and this is part of that scene.
I mean, I'm looking at the picture now. It's a good catch. It's just interesting to me to see, like, okay, Kano and Sonya aren't wearing, say, normal clothes, but at the same time, you know, it is what we'd expect from like military or something like that, right? That sort of theme. Cole Young looks like he's in what, chinos?
I know, I love it. I love it. It's awesome. It's like, you know, he woke up, decided to go to the grocery store, and then got sucked into this adventure.
Which, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if that's exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's cool. And then it's that Liu Kang with him, do you think?
Yeah, that is definitely Liu Kang. He's got the sash.
The sash and the long hair.
Yeah. So, I don't know where Kung Lao is in this scene.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm interested to see how much of, you know, Kung Lao and Liu Kang we actually get to see in this movie. Just because, you know, some of our talks from the previous scripts, they were kind of like side characters that we're viewing in on. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Liu Kang is not shoved aside.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's the chosen one.
Yeah, exactly.
So besides all the official stuff that has come out, there are also a few unofficial leaks.
Yeah, okay, guys, this could be spoiler territory, just a heads up. But I which one are you talking about?
Well, let's talk about the Jax battle first.
Yes. All right. So this does relate back to our script leak episode. So final spoiler, everybody.
The leaked image that kind of came out was him fully battling with Reiko.
That is most definitely supposed to be Reiko, based on our conversation with Mr. Midnight Owl.
And so, yeah, we see Reiko in a full Goro-style cape, holding a giant con hammer.
Yeah, with a, what is it, like shaved sides of his head in a bun?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like a weird mohawk thing that had been blow dried backwards.
If you told me this was Reiko, I wouldn't believe you. Like, if I didn't know ahead of time.
But I still think it's a missed opportunity that they didn't cast Nathan Jones as Shao Kahn, but rather as a giant version of Reiko with steroids or something.
Like, as I said, I wouldn't have known this was Reiko if I didn't know ahead of time. He doesn't have the Brotherhood of Shadow marks on his eyes, which is his staple look, even if he's not with them.
Yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
Okay, so Reiko started off as a sort of palette swap ninja in MK4, I would say. Very similar, at least, without the mask. And that was always my favorite take on Reiko. I love the shuriken, everything, you know? And then when he returned in Armageddon, he was more a sort of imitation of Shao Kahn, but still had his own thing going.
Oh, yeah, because you still were wondering if he was a reincarnation of Shao Kahn or if he was trying to replace Shao Kahn. That whole mystery was in the air during Armageddon, and it kind of unfolded, and you kind of got more backstory on it during that time.
Yeah, I was just hoping for, say, like a comic sort of look, maybe, for Reiko. This one, you can't tell it's him. Whereas the comics, yes, he's still hulking, but he's also more lean. Now he's just straight up Shao Kahn 2.0.
And with the cape kills me. That's like Prince Goro's cape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, like maybe it's just a very, very bad timing shot of him, the top right shot, but his expression is hilarious. He's just like sort of scowling at Jax. And what is Jax wearing? Is that Jax?
Yeah, that's Jax. So I think what that is, it's a green screen suit. So they put a harness on him and they basically covered up in green screen so they can Photoshop out the harness in post-production.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that way, Rictus Erectus is not actually having to lift him up by the neck and throw him around in real life.
I love how you just call him Rictus Erectus.
That's who it is.
I know. But no, seriously, the markings should have been there. That's a wasted opportunity.
And then there has also been another leak, which looks like a backstage photo of the pit arena. I mean, I don't know if that's actually what it's going to be used or what it's going to be called, but it looks like the pit. Like it looks like the bottom of the pit where you fight in the pit 2, exactly, which is really exciting if this is a real thing. So we'll see what we get. So far, again, I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing with this movie, and hopefully not too disappointed when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a picture of Louis Tanner's Kung Jin, or what we assume was Kung Jin, based on all the information we've been given from Generations. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would even have rathered seeing maybe him as Kung Jin instead of Cole. And I didn't even like the Combat Kids. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So you're talking about the old Mortal Kombat Generations, the unreleased season 3 of Mortal Kombat Legacies.
Yes.
Yeah, so he was going to be playing Kung Jin, so it's cool to see him, reprise a Mortal Kombat role in the new movie, like to see that he's still involved in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I'm happy he got his chance. As I've said, I'm a really big fan of his work, and I'm currently finally watching through Wu Assassins, which is amazing, and he's great in it, as is Ludi Lin. So it's awesome to see them in Mortal Kombat.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat Generations, just a little tidbit for you guys. We got something big coming up regarding that. So make sure you're subscribed to Realm Kast and make sure you got notifications turned on so that you can see the announcement once it comes out.
You're going to like this. It's pretty big, and maybe you should catch up on Mortal Kombat Legacy for it.
Oh, yeah.
So once again, thanks for stopping by. Sorry for the delay. We were quite busy, but we have a lot coming up very soon. As we said, Fantim just gave you a little tease as to some future content, and let us know what you think of the movie itself. What do you think of the tournament news too? I'm very keen to hear what you guys think about that. You're all mostly probably excited about the movie, so let us know. Are you happy with what you've seen and heard? Are you excited for the movie? Will you be going to see it in theaters? Let us know.
Yeah, and if you're not excited for the movie, let us know. Like, what are your complaints about what you've seen so far? What has kind of worried you about some of these behind the scenes shots? Leave a comment and send us a tweet. We'd love to interact with you guys, so we want to hear what you guys think on this too.
This was a slightly delayed Toasty Tuesday, so please like, follow, subscribe to stay up to date with our videos. Thanks.
Bye.